Hello. Okay, I'm going over Special Parallelogram Quiz 2, and you are watching the correct video if on your quiz LK equals 10. Okay, so the quiz looks like this, Special Parallelogram Quiz 2. All right, so we would start with this one by drawing a quadrilateral. So we would draw a quadrilateral and we would make sure that we name it correctly, because if we don't name it correctly, then we have no hope of solving this one correctly. So JKLM. Make sure you name it in a circle. JKLM. It doesn't matter where you start naming it. It's just important that you don't jump across the figure as you're naming it. Now we're going to label our sides. ML to y minus x. So I've used that one. KJ to x minus y, jm to x minus y, and kl, that's nice, 10. Okay. Now we know one of the properties of parallelograms is that opposite sides are congruent. So we're going to set our opposite sides equal to each other. I know there's two variables going on, so I'm assuming I'm going to have a system. So I'm just preparing myself for that. 2x minus y equals 2y minus x. And my other equation is 2x minus y equals 10. Now, guys, one thing I noticed right away is that this is a parallelogram, and look, this side is the same as this side. And so if opposite sides are congruent and those two sides are congruent, then this has got to be a rhombus. So this actually is a rhombus and all sides are actually 10. But if you didn't see that, that's okay. But it is important to kind of notice things like that. This is a rhombus and all sides are 10. But we're not looking for how long the sides are. We are looking for x and y. So let's just keep on going and solving for x and y. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this one right here. And I'm going to get all my x's on one side and all my y's on the other. So I'm going to add x to both sides. So I get 3x there, and then I'm going to add y to both sides. So 3x equals 3y. The 3's cancel. Whoa! X equals y. X is y. So now I'm going to substitute it in. I'm going to go to my other equation here. I go to this one, and I'm going to substitute it in. If x is y, they're interchangeable. So instead of 2x minus y equals 10, I'm going to say 2x minus x equals 10. Well, what is 2x minus x? 2 minus 1. It's just x. X is 10. Once you know x is 10, you can plug it in. 2 times 10 minus something equals 10. You can plug it in anywhere you want, wherever you see fit. But there's really no reason to plug it in, sorry, because x is y. Y is x and x is y. So once you have x, you have y. So hopefully that problem wasn't as bad when we looked at it. There's always two ways to solve. There's elimination and substitution, and I chose to use substitution this time. Okay, let's look at number 2. Andy is a rhombus, and we labeled it for you. Angle ANY, so this angle right here is given, and angle DYN. Okay, so we've got alternate interior angles here, so we know we're going to set these equal. So that's a pretty easy way to start. X squared minus 2x equals x plus 28. We know we're going to have to factor because there's an x squared and there's an x, so we kind of have no choice. So we bring everything over to one side. X squared minus 3x minus 28 equals 0. And then you go off to the side and you say, hey, what numbers multiply to get 28? Well, we've got 2 and 14. I can't make a 3 out of a 2 and a 14. Okay, we've got 7 and 4. Oh, I can make a 3 out of a 7 and a 4. So we set up our parentheses. So I know 7 and 4 go here. Now I just need to decide who's positive and who's negative. We want it to be a negative 3. So I want the bigger number to be negative. So it's going to be a 4 and then a minus 7. We're going to solve, and that would make x equal 7 and x equal negative 4. Now sometimes we keep both answers and sometimes we throw an answer out. So you would plug those in. You would plug it in here and you would plug it in here. And guess what? It doesn't force us to have a negative angle. Neither of them do. We're okay on both of them. So in this case, we keep both answers. We don't always keep both, but on this one we keep both. All right, so it's asking for angle YAD. So it's asking for this one right here. And YDN. YDN. Okay. So let's find angle YAD first. Since this is a rhombus, I do know that we've got right triangles. So I bet, and I know the diagonals bisect the angles, so I bet if I find my green angle, all I need to do is subtract it from 90 to find that first red angle. So I'm looking at this right triangle right here. If I know this green angle, then the red angle is the complement of that green angle. So let's plug them in. So we take, let's just do it to the easier one, x plus 28. All right, 28 plus 7, what is it? It's 35. So in this triangle right here, I'm just going to redraw it. This is 35, and I'm trying to find that. So 35 was not your answer. You needed to do 90 minus 35. And so one of your answers is 55. But now we need to plug in the negative 4 because that's an answer too. So negative 4 plus 28, and we get 24. Remember, 24 is not the answer. 24 is this angle here, and we want that angle. So we do 90 minus 24, and that's how we get 66. Now remember, in a rhombus, the diagonals bisect the angles. So if we know those two angles, and we're trying to find this one, all we have to do is double it, because we found half of the angle and it's asking for the whole angle. So you double 55, 110, and you double 66, 132. Moving on to number 3, parallelogram ABCD. A, B, C, D. We label our sides. It's going to be another system. 4x plus y, y plus 4, 3x plus 6, and 2x plus y. All right, I know that opposite sides are congruent, so I'm going to set my opposite sides congruent. 4x plus y equals 3x plus 6. And on the other side, see if there's a certain way I want to do this. 2x plus y equals y plus 4. You've always got two options, but there's something that I see going on here. You've always got the option of elimination and substitution. But I'm looking at that second equation, and I'm seeing that 2x plus y equals y plus 4. And I'm noticing those y's are going to cancel. If you have a y on the left and a y on the right, try to subtract y from both sides, and what happens? The y's cancel. So 2x is 4. So x is 2. Man, that was easy. It was like handed to us on a silver platter. X is 2. So now all you do is plug it in to either one of your equations. I'm going to plug it into the top one. If x is 2, every time I see an x, I'm going to do a 2 instead. 4 times 2, 8. 8 plus y equals 3 times 2, 6. So 8 plus y equals 12. Y is 4. So there's x, there's y, and those are the only problems I'm going to work from this quiz. Thanks for watching.